I remember when I was dancing with this girl during the winter dance, I looked at her and said, yo, so like, are we still, you know, friends with benefits? And that's when this girl stopped dancing with me, grabbed me by my hand and said, follow me. And that's when me and her, we went to the school bathroom and did something extremely illegal. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another embarrassing but crazy story. Now, this story starts off all back when I was in grade 10. And my grade 10 year, I was the biggest player known to man. No joke, I would do whatever walked, and even, I guess, not walked, according to my other videos on this channel. But that's not the point. I remember during the school year, it became December, and December was like one of the biggest times during the school year where everyone would be talking about the holidays and all the crazy events that were gonna come up. And one of the events that was so important to a lot of people in my school for some reason was the winter dance. Now me, I didn't really care about the winter dance since the year before that I already made it a big deal for myself. So knowing that I was already in my second year in high school and the winter dance was coming up again, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care much for it. At this time, I was more focused on pulling girls than actually enjoying the winter dance. But I remember one day I was walking down the school hallway with one of the girls that I would call my friends with benefits. If you guys don't know what that is, basically it was a girl that I would do the devil's tango with, but she would only just be my friend. We weren't dating, and there were no strings attached whatsoever. If anything, a better word for this would be sneaky link. But going on with the story, I remember as me and her were walking down the hallway, she looked over at me and said, oh, so Bubba, you excited for like the winter dance this year? I guess. Not really, to be honest. I could care less this year. Wait, what do you mean? Well, I don't know. Like, I don't see a point. Like, I don't see what the big deal is. Well, obviously, like, you know, to like go to the dance and, you know, celebrate, have a good time with like your fellow classmates. Like, it's a huge deal. I knew at this moment that this girl really had strong emotions towards going to the winter dance, but to be fair, a lot of girls in my school were, because for girls in my school, the winter dance was like a big deal and sort of treated it as if it was prom. Now, my opinion, prom's a big deal, okay? Prom is actually a really big deal when it comes to high school life, but the winter dance, like, really? Like, doesn't seem that important. Knowing that you're doing it for 4 years straight compared to prom where you're doing it for exactly 1 year and that's your grad year, you gotta understand there's a major difference. But a lot of girls in my school didn't, and they saw it as practice for guys to ask them out the best way possible so that when it came to the years of prom, they would have the biggest questioning of going to prom ever. But me, like I said, I didn't care. And that's when I ended up telling her, honestly, I think I might just not even go. Wait, what? Are you serious, Bubba? Well, yeah, I don't really see a point, like I said earlier. Bubba, you do realize that the winter dance is a big deal for me, right? Well, yeah, I can tell it's a big deal for you, but I just don't see a point. You know what? I'm done with this conversation. At that moment, she ended up basically walking away from me, and at that time, I couldn't care less and continued on with my day. And when after school finally came around, I was walking down the hallway to go get my books from my locker to bring home. And as I was walking that direction, I ended up seeing a bunch of people in a crowd just watching someone getting asked to the winter formal. Now, this was a really big deal for everyone to watch, and I remember so many people were whipping out their phones and everything. And that's when the girl that was my friends with benefits ended up coming up behind me. She came up behind me and said, oh, is someone getting asked? No, wait, who is it? I'm so curious. And basically talking like a really perky girl voice as if this was like a reality TV show. But a lot of people started freaking out and being really happy that the girl in the hallway got asked out by one of the guys. And that's when she looked at me and said, see, Bubba, don't you see how important it is for someone? Not really. It's just asking someone out just in a really over dramatic way. Are you joking? No, not really. And that's when she once again just walks away upset. Now, at that moment, I kind of like thought in my head that maybe she wanted me to ask her, but I wasn't too sure because once again, she was only my friends with benefits and no strings attached. That's like the golden rule. So I decided to basically kind of just, you know, shrug it off and pretend nothing was going on between me and her. And that day when I got home, I remember I was laying in bed and I was just kind of vibing, doing my own thing. And then I ended up for some reason randomly getting bricked. Now, this was normal as a, you know, high schooler. You get bricked at random moments in time. And me, I thought, you know what? Why not hit up my sneaky link that would always be ready and on standby for me to go do the devil's tango. And when I shot her a text message, she did not reply. She was straight up ignoring me and leaving me on red. Now, I wasn't sure why she was upset at me. And to be honest, I was like, wait, what? Why isn't she answering? She usually does. And at that day, I actually had to go on the Devil's Hub to take care of my business. Obviously, it was super annoying because I don't like going on the Devil's Hub. But I mean, it is what it is. The next day, I remember I ended up going to school and I ended up going to my locker and I saw her nearby and that's when I walked up to her. I walked up to her saying, hey, like, are we good? Like, what's wrong? Like, you didn't answer me last night. You just left me on red. Honestly, is that all I'm good for, Bubba? Like, like, do you not see anything else? Like, you do realize friends with benefits also mean friends. The friends part. Yeah, no, I get that, but like, what's your deal? But you do realize that going to this winter formal is important to me, right? Yeah, I understand. So you know what? If you're not even willing to do your friendship part of taking me to winter formal, then honestly, I'm done being friends with benefits with you. At that moment, I just stood in place confused on all this, and she just walks away. And that's when my mind started boggling, because like, come on, like, friends with benefits, no strings attached. Like, wouldn't me asking her to winter formal be also, you know, adding strings? To be honest, I don't really know. Comment down below what you guys think, but honestly, I wasn't really sure at the time. But I remember throughout the school day, I started to really think to myself, thinking, honestly, like, if she just wants me to ask her out, I could just do it. Like, at least gives me a date to go to winter formal, and might as well show up because most of my friends are going. So sure, you know what? I'll just ask her. And that's when I planned to basically ask this girl my sneaky link to the winter formal. I remember I ended up going to the mall at lunchtime and actually picking up some spray paint that you could put on your car and easily wash off. And that's when I went to my car and I drew on there the question of me asking her to winter formal. Since she wanted it to be a big deal, I made sure it was a big deal because it means a lot when she was a sneaky link, which sounds insane because it's not like she was my girlfriend or anything, but still, I made it seem like she was going to be a big deal. I basically made it a bigger gesture than it already should have been. And I remember after school finally came around, I parked my car in front of the school, and that's when I texted her saying, yo, I was wondering, can you just meet me in front of the school real quick? I need to talk to you. It's really important. And that's when she texted me back saying, oh, fine, I'm coming. And when the bell rang, a lot of kids started coming out of the school and saw me in front of my car with this question while I was sitting on my car. And a lot of people started pulling out their phones. And finally, when this sneaky link ended up finally coming outside of the school, she saw me, ran up to me, and gave me the biggest hug. We didn't kiss or anything because obviously sneaky links, well, you have to be sneaky with it. So we didn't make it seem like we were in a relationship already or anything, even though everyone filmed me and basically became talk of the school for like a while. But finally, the day when winter formal finally came up, I ended up picking her up with my car, and you know, we did the whole traditional picking her up and meeting her parents and all that crazy stuff, which her parents already knew me, but they thought I was just some guy that would help her with homework, even though the only homework I was doing was sticking my eggplant in her. Sorry, way out of topic, but you know what I mean. And well, one thing led to another. We ended up getting inside my car, going to the school, and we went and enjoyed our winter formal. Now, winter formal goes the same way as usual. It's just people dancing, having fun, listening to old kids bop music that really sucks because half of the music nowadays have swear words in it. And well, in winter formal and even prom, they censor every single word. So half of the time, the music would just have gaps in it throughout the lyrics, and it was really annoying. But then I remember a slow dance came on, and me and my sneaky link, we ended up starting to slow dance beside each other. And that's when I saw the smile on her face, and I whispered in her ear saying, so does this mean we're still, you know, friends with benefits? And that's when she pulls away from me, and she grabs me by my hand and drags me all the way to the woman's bathroom, brings me inside, goes inside a stall, and me and her start making out, and we end up doing the devil's tango in the bathroom. Yeah, I know, literally insane and super out of the blue, but at the same time, it gave me my answer that me and this girl were still friends with benefits. And I will say this, it didn't last long after the winter formal because 2 weeks later, she ended up getting a boyfriend and terminating her friends with benefits contract. But what I will say was that, you know, at least I had a good winter formal. Might have been in the bathroom, but still kind of weird. But if you guys don't believe the story is real whatsoever, then follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.